What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Talk with BH episode 154, the college weekly news. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about college softball because we got conference standings to talk about. Plus, we got a new number one in the rankings. Then we got some big NIL deal coming out of the college football news. So we got our opinions on that. But first, let's head into college hockey. So we'll start off this one on college hockey. We had Frozen Four news to talk about. So the two semifinals were Western Michigan versus Denver and Boston University versus Penn State. Two very good games, four very good teams that respectively definitely deserved a spot getting out of each of their regions. For the first game, Western Michigan versus Denver, matchup of the NCHC conference finals. These two teams have faced a lot throughout the past couple of years. And this one, Western Michigan took it in double overtime, a 3-2 victory over the Pioneers. For the second one, we had BU versus Penn State. BU ended up winning this one 3-1, pretty much controlled most of that game. I think most people did expect Boston University to win that one. The first matchup, a little bit uneasy on who's going to go. I think on my episode, I did pick Denver to win it all on the breakdown of the tournament, but overall, I have been rooting for Western Michigan this whole time. I love to see a new champion, and that team was great all season long. So very excited to see those two battle it out and make it to the championship was the Broncos there. Before that game, the Hobie Baker winner was announced, and we had Isaac Howard, Ryan Leonard, and Z Bulliam up for grabs for that trophy, which is the best player in college hockey. And it went to Michigan State's Isaac Howard winning this one. I think, honestly, a little controversial compared to the other two guys, Z Bulliam, all-star defenseman, Ryan Leonard, all-star forward when it comes to both of their teams. But regardless, Isaac Howard had a great season. Michigan State had a great year as well, so well-deserved there for him. So congrats to him winning the Hobie Baker. Now let's head to the championship game. BU versus Western Michigan. Really good matchup. A blue blood when it comes to BU and a new young gun team. First time in the Frozen Four in Western Michigan. This game honestly was not very close. A 6-2 victory for the Broncos. A huge win. First national championship in hockey for the Broncos. First period scoring, it was 2-1 after one. So Western Michigan kind of controlled that one. The only goal for the Terriers was a controversial kind of puck in the crease, didn't get the whistle for Slukinski. They tapped it in, ends up scoring. So 2-1 going into the second. After the second, it was 3-2. Another controversial goal by BU. This one was reviewed. Tap in the blocker, or excuse me, of the leg pads from Shane LeChance, captain of the BU Terriers. He ended up scoring that goal. They reviewed it, said it was fine. So they're still down one going into the third period, and that's when Owen Michaels scores 2 goals in that one, one of those being an empty net. MVP of the tournament. He was voted most valuable player of the tournament. He had an outstanding tournament, 4 goals in the last 2 games for him, including the overtime winner in the Denver game before that. So big win by Western Michigan. I'm very excited to see that the Broncos won this one, especially beating a team out of Boston. We see too many Boston schools in there. Very happy to see a non-Boston school win it all, and even more excited that it was Arizona State's conference too. Got to root for the conference. NCHC champs once again, back-to-back years with Denver last year and Western Michigan this year. So they're the first national championship in hockey school history for the Broncos. And honestly, I think MVP of that, if you're not going to give it to Owen Michaels, you got to give it to Hampton Slukinski. He looked outstanding in the regionals. He looked great in the 2 games in the Frozen Four. So very good tandem, goalie, goal scorer. Awesome performance by those two guys. The 2025 All-Tournament team was announced. Again, Owen Michaels did win Most Valuable Player. Western Michigan's Hampton Slukinski, Denver Z Bulliam, Western Michigan's Tim Walsh, and Jonas Vasanen, and BU's Cole Eiserman were all announced to the all-tournament team for the tournament. So congrats to all of those guys there. And to end this one, we have a couple of signings because the teams have officially been done. Season's over for college hockey. So a couple players did sign. Florida signed Denver's Jack Devine. Edmonton signs BU's Quinn Hudson. Minnesota signs Denver's Z Bulliam. Anaheim signs Western Michigan's Tim Walsh. And Philadelphia signed 2 players, Western Michigan's Alex Bump and BU's Devin Kaplan. All right, let's head to college football now, where we have big news coming out of Tennessee. Quarterback Nico Iamaleava. I don't know if I said that right. It's a hard one to say. We're going to say Nico from now on. Nico has officially entered the transfer portal due to NIL disputes there between him and the school. Last year, supposedly, he was making $2.4 million, and supposedly that was not enough for this college kid to come back and play another season with the Tennessee Volunteers. He was asking for $4 million from the school. The school said, nope, we are not giving you $4 million. And he decided he's going in the transfer portal because of that. We had a couple quotes here. Josh Hampel, at the end of the day, no one is ever bigger than the program. Big words there from the head coach, but I like that he's stepping up and saying that. Tennessee is one of those schools that they're an SEC school. They're going to find a way to find one of the top recruits to play quarterback there. And honestly, Nico did not make this team that much better that if they do go with somebody else, which obviously they're going to have to, it's going to hurt them in the long run. So I think Nico leaving Tennessee, moving on to a new quarterback, I think he'll be fine. They have a lot of great players over there. I think they're going to be absolutely fine next season. Another one coming from Micah Parsons. He says, college was never about the money. College is about building character. We are failing kids now because life isn't easy and we are allowing them to quit. I think this is a great quote as well. Micah Parsons played from Penn State, one of the best Penn State defensive players that they've had in recent history. And I think he's got it right on the nail. I mean, I know Parsons did not play in the NIL era, and earning money, it was not part of his play style, obviously, when it came to college, but he makes a great point. These guys, if they're not getting the starting job, they're quitting. They're going somewhere else to get a starting position. If they're not making enough money, they're stopping their contract disputes and they're going somewhere else to find the money somewhere else. So I think this is going to turn into just a semi-pro football league at this point, which to me, I hate that. I hate that we're going the route of NIL deals and needs all of that. There's nothing else we could really do about it. I mean, it's here to stay. We just got to find regulations on how to pretty much control all this kind of stuff. So hopefully Tennessee figures it out. Nico, on the other hand, I don't know what's going to happen with him. Is he going to get that $4 million from somewhere else? I really highly doubt it. I even highly doubt he's going to get probably $2.4 million from anywhere else. And these are the 4 schools that are in the running for Nico, supposedly. Texas Tech, UCLA, Syracuse, and Tulane are a couple of teams that are considering him. I also heard something about maybe North Carolina being a crystal ball to getting Nico, but I also heard earlier today that Tulane is actually not in the running, so I don't know which one to believe. Tulane could or could not be in there. Regardless, Tulane does not have $4 million to give a quarterback, so I do not expect them to get it. North Carolina, I could see something like that. UCLA, I definitely could see something like that. Texas Tech, Syracuse, I don't think are going to give out that kind of money, but I think that's a better spot than Tulane, North Carolina, or UCLA. I think you'd rather go Syracuse, which they didn't have that bad of a year, and Texas Tech, who actually had a pretty solid year in the Big 12, could be a quarterback away from making a big run in that conference. So enough talk about Nico. We'll move on to a couple other transfer portal news. Cal running back Jaden Ott has entered the transfer portal along with Virginia Tech quarterback Davey Belfort. So those are 2 names to note there. Colorado announced that number 12 and number 2 will be officially retired and untouchable numbers for the time being now. That is Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. I'm actually not surprised at all. These 2 really did put Colorado on the map the last couple of years, and I think losing those 2 is definitely going to hurt Colorado in the long term. I mean, they have great recruiting. They could be able to get new guys in there, but it's definitely going to be a struggle. I think a little bit of a transition period between last year's team and this upcoming season's team. But regardless, congrats to Shedeur and Travis Hunter. Big accomplishments there, getting your number retired. And last thing to note, ex-LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey did pass away this past weekend at the age of 25. That is undisclosed on what actually happened. But regardless, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and everybody affected by it. So unfortunate news there, but LSU and Kyron Lacey is in our hearts here at Talking with Beauties. All right, let's head to college baseball. We'll start off with the notable results. We'll start off on Tuesday. Number 9, Florida State lost to Florida 4-5. Number 11, Auburn beat number 18, Georgia Tech 9-8. Number 23, Southern Miss lost to number 12 Alabama 6-10. Dallas Baptist beat number 19 Oklahoma 9-1. Nebraska beat number 22 Kansas 7-5. On Wednesday, Alcorn State got smoked by number 6 Ole Miss 29-1. Number 20 Troy lost to number 25 Virginia Tech 3-1. On Friday, number 1 Arkansas beat number 7 Georgia 13-3. Number 3 LSU lost to number 11 Auburn 4-8. Number 5 Tennessee beat number 6 Ole Miss 3-2. Mississippi State beat number 12 Alabama 13-3. Washington beat number 10 UCLA 5-2. Number 14 Louisville lost to NC State 13-11. Number 17 Vanderbilt lost to number 19 Oklahoma 9-4. Number 20 Troy lost to James Madison 7-3. Number 22 Kansas got smoked by TCU 14-1. And Oklahoma State beat number 24 Arizona in 10 innings 4-2. We head to Saturday where number 1 Arkansas lost to number 7 Georgia 7-6. Number 2 Texas lost to Kentucky in 15 innings 5-4. Number 3 LSU lost to number 11 Auburn 4-2. Number 5 Tennessee lost to number 6 Ole Miss 8-5. Number 9 Florida State had a doubleheader with number 25 Virginia Tech and took both those games by a score of 12-1 and 3-1. Number 13 UC Irvine lost to UC Davis 7-3. Number 17 Vanderbilt got shut out big time by number 19 Oklahoma in 7 innings 14-0. And TCU beat number 22 Kansas again 4-3. We head to Sunday where number 1 Arkansas lost to number 7 Georgia in 12 innings 7-6. Number 3 LSU lost to number 11 Auburn 3-2. Stanford beat number 4 Clemson 11-6. Number 5 Tennessee beat number 6 Ole Miss 10-8. Number 9 Florida State beat number 25 Virginia Tech 4-2. Mississippi State beat number 12 Alabama 4-2. Number 15 Oregon lost to Maryland 12-2. Number 14 Louisville lost to lost to unranked NC State 11-1. Number 17 Vanderbilt beat number 19 Oklahoma in 8 innings 13-2. Number 23 Southern Miss lost to Texas State, 11-10. And lastly, number 22, Kansas got swept by TCU 7-2. With that being said, here are the top 25 from this week. We got a new number 1. Texas takes the number 1 spot. Arkansas drops 1-2. Clemson gets a plus 1-3. Tennessee gets plus 1-4. Georgia gets plus 2-5. Oregon State gets a plus 2-6, along with Florida State, who gets a plus 2-7. Auburn gets a plus 3-8. LSU drops 6-9. UCLA stays put at 10. Mississippi drops 5-11. North Carolina gets plus 4-12. UC Irvine stays put at 13. Georgia Tech gets a plus 4-14. Alabama drops 3-15. Oregon drops 1-16. Louisville drops 3-17. Oklahoma gets a plus 1-18. Vanderbilt drops 2-19. Troy stays put at 20. Coastal Carolina stays put at 21. Arizona gets plus 2-22. Southern Miss stays put at 23, and West Virginia and TCU go from unranked to 24 and 25. Kansas dropped out at 22, and Virginia Tech dropped out at 25 from this past week. Arizona State update of the weekend. They're 23 and 14 for the Sun Devils. Not too bad. 2-2 though on the weekend. Last week, their midweek, they played against CSUN. They smoked them, but also gave up a lot of runs. 20-11 win for the Sun Devils there. On the weekend, they were on the road in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati actually took 2 out of the 3 games. The 2 games that they lost, 7-11 and 8-9. They did win the second game of the weekend, though. That was a 7-4 victory for the Sun Devils. This upcoming week, they have 4 games. They already had played one on Monday. I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon. They lost to Purdue on the road 6-8. This weekend series starting on Thursday against Texas Tech at home. I expect ASU to come out bounce back. I'm going to say they win 2 out of 3 of those games. Go back-to-back 2-2 weekends here. So hopefully the Devils get back on the winning ways there. All right, let's head to softball now. We'll start off with the notable results. On Monday, we only had one upset. LMU over number 5, Oregon 5-3. On Wednesday, we only had one notable result, 11-3 victory for number 2, Oklahoma over number 18, Oklahoma State. That was in 5 innings. We had a Friday with number 5, Tennessee lost to number 1, Texas 3-0. Number 6, LSU lost number 3, Texas A&M 12-7. Number 4, Oregon shut out Minnesota big time 13-0 in 5 innings. Number 8, Florida beat number 19 Ole Miss 8-7. Number 11 South Carolina lost number 10 Arkansas in 6, 10-2. Iowa State beat number 18 Oklahoma State in 8 innings, 5-4. And Georgia, ranked 20th, lost to Auburn, 11-10. On Saturday, number 5 Tennessee beat number 1 Texas, 3-1. Number 2 Oklahoma beat number 22 Alabama, 5-1. Number 6 LSU lost to number 3 Texas A&M, 9-8. Number 8 Florida beat number 19 Ole Miss 14-3. Number 11 South Carolina beat number 10 Arkansas 5-4. Number 16 Duke lost to Pitt 5-3. And number 24 Ohio State lost to Penn State in 5, 11-2. On Sunday, number 5 Tennessee beat number 1 Texas and winning the series 4-1. Number 2 Oklahoma lost to number 22 Alabama 6-1. Number 6 LSU lost to number 3 Texas A&M 4-1. Number 8 Florida lost to number 19 Ole Miss 8-6. Number 11 South Carolina lost to Arkansas 4-5. Iowa State beating number 18 Oklahoma State 8-4. Number 20 Georgia losing to Auburn 4-8. And lastly, number 25 Liberty losing to New Mexico State 3-1. With that being said, here's the top 25 for the week. Number 1 is brand new. Texas A&M gets a +2-1. Tennessee gets a +3-2. Texas drops 2-3. Oklahoma drops 2-4. UCLA gets a +2-5. Oregon drops 2-6. Florida gets a +1-7. Florida State gets a +1-8. LSU drops 3-9. Arkansas stays put at 10. Virginia Tech gets a +1-11. South Carolina drops 1-12. Arizona, Texas Tech, and Mississippi State stays put at 13, 14, and 15. Stanford gets a +1-16. Duke and Alabama tie and ranked for 17. Nobody at 18. Clemson gets a +2-19. Mississippi drops 1-20. Nebraska gets a +2-21. Oklahoma State drops 4-22. Georgia drops 3-23. Ohio State and Liberty stay put at 24 and 25. Other receiving votes, the top 5 were Virginia, Auburn, GCU, Washington, and Texas State. With the season wrapping up pretty soon, we got a few more weekends here of college softball before we head into the tournament play. Here is the Power 4 conference standings for college softball. We'll start off with the ACC. Florida State, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Duke, Virginia take the top 5 in this one. Virginia Tech and Florida State tied at the top at 14-1 in conference play. Clemson 14-4, Duke 12-6, Virginia at 11-7. So this one goes off a win percentage for conference standings. Florida State does have that upper hand though against Virginia Tech. The rest of the standings though, Stanford at 6, Georgia Tech at 7, North Carolina at 8, Cal at 9, Louisville at 10, Notre Dame at 11, Boston College at 12, NC State at 13, Pitt at 14, Syracuse at 15. We head to the Big 12 now, where Texas Tech leads this one. Who would have thought? 14-1 on the season in the conference play. Arizona's in second with 13-5. Iowa State in third. Arizona State at 4. BYU in fifth. Oklahoma State have 6. Baylor at 7. UCF at 8, Kansas at 9, Utah at 10, Houston at 11. So that is your Big 12 conference standings there. We head to the Big 10 now, where this is a big division. Obviously, a lot of schools in here, but the top 2 teams are the new ones. Oregon and UCLA tied at 12-1 in conference play. Oregon does have the upper hand right now over UCLA. They're 1, UCLA at 2. Nebraska 11-4 at 3, Northwestern at 4, Michigan at 5, Ohio State at 6, Washington at 7, Iowa at 8, Wisconsin at 9, Indiana at 10, Penn State at 11, Purdue at 12, Illinois at 13, Michigan State at 14, Minnesota at 15, Maryland at 16, Rutgers at 17. Rutgers had a rough year. They're 1-12 right now in conference play. The worst Power 4 conference record of any team this year. We head to the SEC, where Texas A&M leads this one 11-3 in conference play and the new number 1 in the country. So congrats to A&M right now. Texas is at 2, 11-4. Oklahoma is at 3 at 10-5. Florida at 4 at 9-6, tied with Mississippi State and Tennessee at 5-6. Arkansas is at 7, LSU at 8, Alabama at 9, Ole Miss at 10, South Carolina at 11, Kentucky at 12, Georgia at 13, Auburn at 14, and Missouri at 15. That is your SEC conference rankings, plus every other conference there. So season's wrapping up right now, and we don't have a lot of time for movement here. So the conference tournaments are going to be happening very soon. Plus, we're going to get our regionals not too long after that. So school wrapping up. That means college sports has to wrap up pretty soon. So baseball and softball wrapping up very quickly here. So make sure you guys watch out for conference standings and movements there within each conference, actually. Arizona State update. They're 31-14 on the season. Very good record for Arizona State, especially when you don't expect Arizona State to do much this year. They're doing very good. They're on a 6-game win streak entering Tuesday. They do have a game later today on Tuesday. I'll share my thoughts about that later. But last week, they were 5-0 on the weekend. Great weekend for the Sun Devils there. An 8-0 win and a 5-2 win against UTEP. The 8-0 win was in 6 innings. They faced Utah on the road. They won 7-2, 3-2, and 7-1 for that weekend. So really good weekend for them. This week, they face GCU on Tuesday and have a 3-game set starting on Thursday against the Baylor Bears. I think they go 4-0 on the weekend. I think they're going to run through GCU. They have them at home this time. They lost earlier in the season. I think they split the season series. I think they beat GCU this week. Plus, I think they sweep Baylor. This is a big weekend. This is the last weekend at home for the Sun Devils, meaning we have senior night on Saturday for our 3 seniors, which is AJ Murphy, Kenzie Brown, and Kelsey Hall. So I think it's going to be a big weekend for these 3 girls here. Kenzie Brown actually was announced that she's since 2018, I know ESPN stat there, to hit the 200K mark. So she is outstanding. She's lighting up. She's 1.18 ERA with a whip under 1, 16-4 record through 130 innings pitched, and opponent batting average of 162. So she's lining up. She's going to be very well missed next season for the Devils. The other 2 seniors, Kelsey Hall, hasn't played at all when it comes to the field, but her hitting has been great. 348 batting average, on base at 410, 9 home runs, 44 RBIs. AJ Murphy, another all-star hitter, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. She's batting .353, on base percentage of .391. So those are the 3 seniors this upcoming weekend for ASU. So I think all 3 are going to ball out this weekend. I think ASU sweeps the season series against Baylor and split against GCU. Games of the weekend, not a lot to talk about when it comes to games of the weekend because college sports are wrapping up. So we have 2 series to talk about. Baseball, number 8, Auburn versus number 1, Texas. For softball, number 5, UCLA versus number 6, Oregon. We already mentioned they're the top 2 teams in their conference standings. So this is a run at not just rankings when it comes to top 25, but to own the conference as well. So a really big weekend series for softball there. All right, guys, that will do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. 154 episodes in the books. We appreciate you guys so much. This upcoming week, we probably going to have another weekly news, pro sports, so keep an eye out on that one. Plus, on Friday, we are recording a NHL preview of the playoff. That's going to be a very fun episode, likely to have 3 other guests alongside of me, 2 which you guys already know, 1 that is brand new to the podcast, so I'm curious on how that's going to flow. I think it's going to go really well. We got fans of every single team, very different opinions, something we have not talked about with all 3 of these guests before, which is hockey. So I think it's gonna be a very fun episode. So make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, that bell icon, so you guys are notified when that weekly news pro episode comes out, plus that NHL episode, which is hopefully gonna come out this weekend because I think the playoffs start on Easter Sunday. So make sure you guys check that out. So it's gonna be a very awesome week when it comes to the channel. So stay tuned for that. But we appreciate you guys listening to this one. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. Have an awesome holiday weekend if you guys celebrate Easter. And we'll see you guys later.